Good morning and welcome to CSL Greater Boston Sunday celebration. I'm Reverend Gina and I am so grateful to be here with you this morning. Wherever you are in the world, welcome home. We are here to be the light and the change in the world in which we see. We get to choose joyfully. And we actually have a wonderful guest speaker today that I'm very excited about. And we also have, a wonderful topic. To me, it's such a beautiful thing. I love the theme this month. Our theme for this month is the mundane, the sacred, and the profane. And it's really looking at life through different lenses because that's what it's all about. It's being at that place of knowing that it's not what's actually there, but what I choose to see. Now, here at CSL Centers for Spiritual Living, Greater Boston, who we are is a spiritual community that lovingly embraces all. We celebrate diversity through the practice of science of mind, teachings, and principles for the betterment of each individual and the oneness of all. So, welcome home. We're so happy that you're here. And if you have any questions at all, you can always email me, gina@cslboston.org. Anytime. I'd love to hear from you. So, before we get into our prayer and our everything else, let's start with some music. To me, it uplifts the soul. So we're going to start today with a beautiful song, and it's by Jamie Lula and Gary Lynn Floyd, and it's called God in Everyone.
Everything beneath the sun breathes like a harmonium. Pure perfection has begun, shining like a midnight sun. Out of darkness I have come. I see God in everyone. Let me be an instrument, guided by an heaven sent. May these grapes of pain ferment, alchemized to love's content, ever be a sacrament, knowing God is my intent. God, let me know your name. Hold me in the same breath as your word. God, I feel you all around. Oh, how you astound me with your grace. Rolling like a thundercloud, Let me live my love out loud, standing for mankind and proud, baptized in a holy shroud. Peace be still and know me now. God is in all I have found. God, let me know your name. Hold me in the same breath as your word. Oh God, I feel you all around. Oh, how you astound me with your grace. God, let me know turning name. Hold me in the same breath as your word. Knowing what I'm here for, around the distant shore. Oh, how you astound me with your praise. God in everyone, spinning like a prayer field, turning like Ezekiel's wheels. Nothing like a kiss seals the spirit I flowing from the infinite, God in everyone. Out of darkness I have come. I see God in everyone.
I love that song. Yes, I see God in everyone. And isn't that a spiritual practice worth taking up? Really looking at each person that we greet, looking in their eyes and knowing that those are the eyes of divine. So we're going to move into our prayer, our invocation, which we are blessed to have our beloved Sonja Hart, who is a practitioner in Barbados, joining us this morning. Our lovely Sonja, thank you for being here with us and praying with and for us. Good morning.
Good morning, Reverend Gina. Good morning, CSL Greater Boston. Today is a very sacred and holy day. I'm going to invite you to turn within, to go within to that sacred space, acknowledging and recognizing that God is all there is. God is the sacredness of all sacredness, the only sacredness that there is. God is all. And as I recognize that God is all, I also recognize that I too am one with God. I am all that God is. I am that sacredness. I am that holy of holy. And as I know this for myself, I know this for each and everyone present here. But each and everyone present here today is in that place of sacredness. Each and everyone present here today is that sacredness. For we're all made in the divine image of that which we call God. And so I speak my word knowing that my life is a life of sacredness and the life of God. I show up as sacredness. I hold space as sacredness. I am sacred in the moment, and As I speak my word knowing that sacredness is all there is for each and every one of us present today. That as we move, we have our being in God. And because we move and have our being in God, everything that we do, everything that we say, every thought, every action comes from a place of divine sacredness from within us, as us. And so I give thanks. I give thanks for all the sacredness that is in its individuality and in its oneness and wholeness. I give thanks. And I release this word knowing that it is always done. Because the Lord is always saying yes, yes. And so it is.
Yes, and so it is. Thank you so much for that beautiful prayer.
You're
Thank you
most
for,
welcome.
thank you. And to all that are out there, thank you for being here. Remember that we're live. We'd love to hear from you. Good morning, Nancy. Wonderful to have you here at service with us. Thank you for being here. We'd love to hear from you, comments, and that's part of the gift of being live. Share with us who's here, where are you, and what's on your heart as you're hearing this beautiful message. So I'm going to read one of my poems for you. And this one's called Sacred. So I'm going to put the words up. So if you're on your phone, you can screenshot it if you'd like. Just listen along. There is an holiness within me that knows no bounds. There is a secret place where divine can always be found. It urges me to be unapologetically me and encourages me to let the world see. It gives me the power, presence, and intelligence to achieve and guides me toward my destiny. It loves with compassion and grace, especially at times I feel alone or out of place. It is that individual soul within me that identifies with those I love and with all because we are one in divinity. For there is only one divine Mother, Father, God, and it's always answers. So my thoughts I must guard. For life appears to me as a result of how I think and act. It is up to me to never choose fear or lack. For this life I live is sacred, and I will never be right here again. And anything is possible when I remember that I am one with Him. So I show up as love today, being more than doing and listening for direction from within. In this moment, I know I'm exactly whom I'm meant to be and appreciate the blessings bestowed upon me. I'm sacred and protected, and today I allow my faith to dissipate fear and doubt. My confusion has subsided, and I'm seeing clearly, living from the inside out. The truth that always reminds me I am free is that divine lives, moves, and lives through me. And so it is. And we have a song before we bring in our beautiful, truly beautiful guest speaker, inside and out. We're going to be playing a song that's actually from Melissa Felipe. And she is a CSL minister as well. And this is called Tender Yes.
as I say a tender yes to everything that comes to me. My heart is open, I am free. I open to all that is. It brings me to my knees. I surrender. I am peace. As I say a tender yes to everything that comes to me. My heart is open, I am free. I open to all that is. It brings me to my knees. I surrender. I am peace. As I say a tender yes to everything that comes to me. My heart is open, I am free. I open to all that is. It brings me to my knees. I surrender. I am peace. As I say a tender yes to everything that comes to me. My heart is open, I am free. I open to all that is. It brings me to my knees. I surrender. I am peace. As I say a tender yes to everything that comes to me. My heart is open, I am free. I open to all that is. It brings me to my knees. I surrender. I am peace. As I say a tender yes to everything that comes to me. My heart is open, I am free. I open to all that is. It brings me
the sacred. Absolutely so important to be in this place and knowing what is sacred. What is it all about? Well, there's a wonderful person that's going to share with us all of her gift of speaking. She's also a beautiful singer, but we're not getting that this week. Maybe next time she'll sing for us as well. But we have blessed to have someone that I consider a friend from ministerial school. She's a ministerial intern, so close, so close. And Sonja Prince is she is a spiritual practitioner and speaker with a gift for helping people move towards success and manifest their dreams. She hosts the Divine Truth Women's Program and podcast. She has a bachelor's degree in business administration and is a certified health minister and senior in her ministerial studies at the Holmes Institute. In addition to being a speaker and a spiritual leader, Sonja is also an award-winning singer. She's a grandmother, she's a mom, she's a friend to so many. And she hosted our Sacred Circle at 7 this past week. She is a gift and absolutely a light. And I'm so grateful to have her sharing about the sacred. Good morning, and thank you. It is very early where you are. We are beginning at 7 a.m. on the West Coast. We're here at 10, but you get to be bright and early. So thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. So good morning, everyone. Thank you, Reverend Gina, for inviting me to speak today, to speak the word of. We just heard a beautiful song, a tender yes. And so we're saying yes to today. So you've said yes to being here. So thank you for being here today. So today we're going to talk about the sacred. And the monthly theme is the mundane, the sacred, and the profane. Oh my. So today we're going to talk about the sacred. And when I think of the sacred, I think of someone sitting on a meditation cushion and just kind of zoned out in that space. But did you know that the sacred can also be found in everyday life, in the grocery store, on a walk, even dishes? There is this beautiful book by Joel Goldsmith called Practicing the Presence. And practicing the is sort of like seeing that sacredness in the things that we do. So we need to expand our awareness today so that the life that we're living is God's life, and that life is sacred. Now, when the word sacred, I think of the definition that said, the sacred is often seen as something separate from everyday life, and it is defined as dedicated or set apart, highly valued and important. To do everything in a sacred manner means to do everything fully in the state of the presence. And Eckhart said that. And like I said, Goldsmith has this beautiful practicing the presence, and that's in everything we do. But why do we sometimes not know that this is in everything? And it may be because of our socialization. And because I'm a student in school, sometimes we bring in things that we've learned in class. So there's this concept called the cycle of socialization. And it begins when we're born. We're born into this world, and the mechanics of this world is all set up. It's already in place. But it's limited to the view or the lenses, like Reverend Gina spoke about, that we see through or that our family has seen through. And we can only see from what we're being taught. That's the lens that we see through. So our habits, our traditions, our stereotypes and our biases comes from this cycle of socialization, the beginning. Now, the people that love us, they don't harm. They love us. But as we go through life and we only see this one frame of reference, the cycle continues and it is reinforced in our lives. And so we internalize these patterns, and they begin to be perpetuated throughout our life. I'm saying that to say that one of the things that might have happened, I know happened in my life, is I come from a Christian background. And so most of us do. So in that Christian background, we learn that we learn that there are miracles that happen, and they happen to these particular people in this particular time. And it never gets over our lives. So we might be looking outside of ourselves for for this spiritual thing to happen to us. And so as we're always looking outside, we don't connect with what is already inherent within us, what is internal within us. So we have a yearning, we may have a yearning in our heart for this deep and soulful experience. And we're looking at others or other people that we've heard about in the Bible, and we're living vicariously through them, but all at the same time wanting this experience for ourselves. So we may be looking and hoping and praying that something miraculous happens to us, that something sacred happens to us, when the magnificence of God potential is already within us. And Thich Nhat Hanh says, each thought, each action in the sunlight of awareness becomes sacred. So everything that we do, everything that we see is part of that sacredness. It's easier to see the sacred when we are, like sometimes when I was traveling, and then I'd look over and I see the beautiful snow-capped mountains, especially in Colorado. Beautiful. But as my husband and I were traveling, we see the red rocks of Arizona. When we go to Florida, we see the majesticness of the trees and all of its greenery and all of its lush, plush foliage. And I look on it in awe and think, oh, how majestic it is. When I see the sunrise in the morning, when I see the sun, when I see the moon at night, I'm thinking, oh my, this is the mystery of life. This is the sacredness of life. Might fail to realize is that same aspect of the divine that is shown in the moon and shown in the stars and shown on the snow-capped mountain also exists within me. And I need to open up to the realization of it in order to see with self. And when I see that and I waken up to the awareness and the transformation that takes place within me, then I can recognize it in other people. We always say in Science of Mind that we want a world that works for everyone, but it starts with us. But we are compelled to think of spirit either as apart from us or if apart from us, there is no way to find it. If within us, there is no escaping that divine fact. No escaping divine fact. So it lives within us. And they said the greatest secret that was ever put on us as human beings is that the divine is as close to us as our breath. It is the breath that we are breathing. It is the movement of our bodies. We don't have to tell ourselves to wake up in the morning. We don't have to tell our bodies to breathe. We don't have to do anything. I was listening to Reverend Gina's talk last week, and she played this beautiful song that Ordinary Miracles, that the rain, the snow doesn't have to tell itself to fall. Birds don't have to tell itself to fly, or, just part of the songs that I was listening to. And struck, that is so true. I don't have to tell my walk when I need to move it. It automatically, inherently knows what to do. And I heard someone say one time, if we had to build a baby as a woman, if we had to build a baby, the eyes one day and the legs one day and the brain day, and it would just not come out the way it should. But there's this process that takes place within us that knows, absolutely knows what to do. This sacredness that I'm talking about can be heard and seen on the playground. You ever walk past a playground where there's children playing, and the laughter and the joy that you hear? And each time you encounter this playground or another playground, it sounds the same to me. Beauty and the sacredness of these souls laughing and playing and just being enjoyed. The flight of the bird, when you see a hummingbird comes across your path and the little wings are going, the beautiful and sacred that is. And there is sacredness even in the tears, because those tears are the medicine that allows us to move past whatever we're feeling, whatever's going on. The tears are like medicine. And we know that when there's trouble on our path or there's some issue that comes up, it's only meant to move us from where we are to the next place on our evolution, in our evolution. So the sacred could be understood as connection to all that is, a mindset led by intention and brought forth through our activity, our mindfulness, and this emergent energy that comes through us when we recognize it. The sacred is found in all things because the sacred is all things. So this is our adventure in life. Our adventure is to open ourselves up to our awareness, open ourselves up to this reality of the sacredness that can be found both in expected and the unexpected. We expect it to see when we go to cathedral, or we see it, we expect it to see it there. We expect when we're in our services to feel a sense of the sacredness that comes through us. But then there are also the unexpected. And that's what we need to tap into, because we might have our blinders on and see only in the things that we've been taught. But there's also the sacred outside of that. And that's all I'm trying to say. There's sacredness in our very being and in all the things that we do, because we are one with the divine presence. There's no separation. Thomas Troward says that we are as expressions of the one. And that one is love. That one is sacred. That one is all things. Is all things. We are so fortunate to be in this philosophy where we get to study. We get to learn about the great masters of old. We get to learn about the Trowards. We get to learn about Mary Baker Eddy. We get to learn about the Fillmores who founded the church. We get to dive into the teachings of Jesus, master teacher, the Christ. We get to learn about all of that. And when we open ourselves to all this awareness, then we internalize it. We begin to realize, we begin to notice, we begin to know that's part of ourselves, that we are truly made in the image and likeness of the divine, that we are truly one with the all that living presence of God. We are one with it. So I have a story for you that kind of illustrates this oneness. And it's about a little girl, an 8-year-old little girl. Her name is Miranda. And her father took her to the on her day. And her father allowed her to go into the ocean. And as she entered the ocean, she began to sway back and forth. The water was at about waist high. And somewhere in this time, her father may have closed his eyes, and the time got away from him. And he opened his eyes to see his daughter continuing to sway in the water. And so he just allowed her to be. He just wanted to make sure that she was okay. But he allowed her to be there, and he allowed her to continue with this swaying in the gentle surf. So an hour goes by, and he calls her out of the water. And he asking her, "Well, what were you doing?" And she said, "I was in the water." And then she said, "Yes, the water, I was the water. I love it and it loves me." And so, beloved, today I want you to know that that divine presence that lives in you is like that water. That water, you are a part of it. So there's a quote by I forget who the quote is by, but it talks about not being a drop in the ocean, but being the ocean in every drop. And so every part of the vine is within you. You are that beautiful expression of it. And so we open up our awareness to it and know that we know that we know that we are beautiful emanations of this divine. Like the young girl said, I was in the water, but I was the water. So we need to become just like spirit. Embody, embrace spirit. Because you, beloved, are living God's life in and through you in all that you do. And I need you today to recognize that and recognize that sacred part of you cannot ever be separated from you. And so go into action, spring into action, and know that you're part of that I am presence, that living spirit almighty, and it expresses through you as you. It is calling you. That voice within you is calling you forth. And it wants you to have wisdom because it is. So we must make the connection. Now, when I say make the connection, I don't mean something outside of ourselves. I mean that it's already within us. We just need to open up to it. And then we need to set our mindset to know that we know that we know. And set our intention. Today, I tend to move forward in the knowledge that I am one with the divine and that oneness is sacred. And it permeates in each and everything that I am and each and everything that I do. And that is the action that we need to take. So, beloveds, in conclusion, I want to invite you to get into study, get into meditation, talk to your minister, talk to a practitioner. Let us know for you, know for yourself. There's all this information out here that wants to point us to the sacred within us. But somehow we are still thinking that is outside of us. But it is not. I'm here to tell you today that the activity of spirit is within you. The activity of God is within and without. It's within you. It is the action of our lives. It is moving and breathing now. And when we begin to see ourselves in that light, in that sacredness, we can begin to see others in that same way. And then it fosters a world that works for everyone. And we know that there's no separation, that there's a deep understanding of wholeness that is all encompassing, and that is within. So let us practice the presence of God in everything we do, everywhere we go, and let us see that sacredness in ourselves and in everyone. And thank you. And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you so much. And I'm going to bring in our affirmation for the day, which is I open myself, and I invite everyone to say it with us. I
I
open
open
myself
myself up
up to the
to the
adventure
adventure of
of
finding.
finding the sacred in the unexpected. And again, one more time, I
I
open
open
myself
myself
up
up to
to
the
the adventure
adventure of
of finding
finding
the
the
sacred
sacred
in
in
the
the.
unexpected. Wonderful. Thank you so much for that beautiful message. And we're going to get to see Sonja one more time when she prays. She's going to do our closing prayer. So thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you all for being here this morning. It is time for our announcements. And the law of circulation states that what we give and giving activates receiving. And you can go to our website, cslboston.org, click on the PayPal button, or you can just go to PayPal and, basically it's paypal.me and it's CSL Boston. You can look us. Thank you. We also have the link in the bottom takes you to either Venmo or PayPal. And what we do in the world that we're able to do because of you. We're able to do for our community, both CSL Greater Boston and the greater community of the world. So thank you for your support. And our sacred giving affirmation, which I invite everyone to say with me, divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. And so it is. Thank you for knowing that growth with me for this beloved community and being part of that. And whether that law of circulation is sharing the good that you are and the skills and the talents that you have with our beloved community or financial, either way, all of it is wonderful. We're so grateful for all that you give. And this week normally would be our in-person service, but we had some changes, and next week is going to be our in-person live for this month. So join us in Medford, and our address is on either the Facebook page or on our website. But join us on the 19th, and we always have fellowship afterwards. We would love for you to join us. So it is always the second Sunday, but this month there was that one exception. Let us give thanks together next week. Definitely would love for you to join us live. It's a wonderful feeling. And just to save the date, you can now register as well. This is for the Charleston, South Carolina CSL convention. So if you need more information or a way to get to that spot, I can get that to you. You can just reach out to me anytime. It's Gina at cslboston.org. So I am very grateful to have you. We're going to begin our visioning again very soon, and I will let you know when so you can be a part of it. It's so important that we cast our vision, and really it's spirit's vision for this greater yet to be. So thank you all for being here and recognizing the sacred. And then before our closing song, I'm going to invite our soon to be Reverend Sonja. We're going to invite her to do our closing prayer.
And so I just invite you to take a deep breath. Breathe in and breathe out. Because we are truly breathing that life of God. And so the affirmation we read today is I open myself up to the adventure of finding the sacred and the unexpected. And so what I know about that is there is one presence and one power. There is only one divine consciousness present everywhere, in and through all of us. This is our sacred indwelling presence. It is God, living Spirit Almighty. And I speak my word today for this in all our lives, that the recognition of this God, this Spirit, that the recognition of it is present. And we know that we know that we know. I give thanks for each and every person shown up today that said a sacred and tender yes to the presence of Spirit within them and shown up to receive the message of truth of who and whose we are. I give great thanks for Reverend Gina and her wisdom of for this beloved community and allowing me to speak today. I give thanks for the Holy of Holies within me, within all of us. I recognize again the sacredness of the mountains, of the trees, and of each and every individual on this planet. Truly one with the divine. And when we know this, then we can begin to live a better life, a greater expansion of life, because we are living God's life right here and right now. And what that means is that there is nothing, absolutely nothing, that you can't be, achieve, and or achieve, because it's already within you. And so I say a blessing for this community and this love of Spirit that we all have. If we didn't, we would not have shown up. Thank you for meeting this divine appointment. Thank you, life. Thank you, God. And so I release this prayer, knowing that everything that needed to be said was said. Everything that needed to be heard was heard in the song, in the beautiful poem that Reverend Gina read, in the beautiful invocation that in this beautiful community. And so I know that this community is blessed. I speak my word for it. I speak my word for divine giving. I speak my word for divine receiving. I speak my word for people coming online and coming through the doors to hear this message of love, of peace, of joy, of goodness, of who and whose we are. CSL Greater Boston is blessed. It is blessed because you have a leader with a heart of love. It is blessed because you have practitioners and you have the congregation that loves, that sees the sacred in each other and in themselves. And so I just let it all go and give it to God. Release it into the action of the law that always says yes. It says yes. It says a tender yes and a sacred yes. I call it good and very good. And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you so much for that beautiful prayer. And thank you for the message. Thank you for being here with us. Thank you for celebrating this Sunday with us. And our final song is Sacred Love by Daniel Neyman. May we all know who and what we are. but also whose we are. Thank you, Nancy. Yes, and so it is. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for being a part of this beloved celebration. Have a beautiful week, and we're looking forward to seeing you in Medford in person next week for all that can join. Blessings and love. Namaste.
You are sacred love, sacred love is all that you are. You are sacred love, God, sacred love is all that you are. You are sacred love, sacred love is all that you are. You are sacred love.